All right, so I was watching this video by this detailer, which is Polish and Punish. And the title of the video is How to Bring in More Leads for Your Company. So I wanted to give a little bit of advice to people. So what I would do is I would download Adobe Express. And on here, you can go ahead and you can start making you some flyers. As you can see right here, this is one of the flyers that I created. And as you can see, it shows 3 packages. Number 1 package being basic. Then you have your gold. And then you have your platinum. You can also go on here. You can create some videos of a video footage that you've already taken. All right, I'm not going to let the whole video play, but you can add your name to the video and all of this. You can find tutorials on YouTube. As you're making some money, I would also suggest that you go to Shopify and you create an account on there. And so you can build your own website using their AI. So no, you don't need to have any experience. You pretty much just typing in what you want and you're going to create your website from there. And so they have different templates and everything. And I'm going to show you my store. This is my store right here using their templates and created my web page. When you go to shop now and you click on that, then I have an a la carte and I also have the interior detail services, and people are able to add their tip in on here. So you go to interior detail service and then I have all of the different packages, and you're going to list those packages as A, like basic, full, coupe and sedan, $85 and so forth. Now, I have a booking app that was also added. I'm going to show you that in a second. This allows people to schedule the time, and then they can schedule their date and they can schedule their time. And once they do that, then they can go to the next page. Now, it is a paid site, so you're going to be paying. Shopify, and you're also going to be paying for the booking service as well. So to choose a different date. And all right, so when the customer goes to book now, as you can see, it's showing the sedan and it's showing the 145 for the sedan. And they also have these options down here where people can actually shop and pay later, meaning they can book their detail now. I'll detail the car and they're going to make installments. Like in this particular case, $36.25 is what they're going to pay. So they can pay over the next 4 months interest free, or they can pay it off sooner. If they exceed the 4 months, then now they're talking about paying interest. Not to me, but to Shopify. That's how they make their money. Now, if I go in the Shopify app itself for my website, I'm able to go and check the analytics, how many people have visited my website, and so forth. When you click on online store, you're able to see other apps that you've added to your website. Like I have this app right here added. This allows people to book their detail on my site. Now, if I pay a little bit more for that app, then I'll be able to collect deposits as well. As you can see down here, it says quick sale. So when I click on the quick sale, let's say I'm at a gas station, I got a customer and they want to book a detail for later that day or for another day, and they want to pay for the whole detail. They don't want to go through this whole shop thing or anything like that. On this page, this will allow me to do it. So what I can do is I can go ahead and I can click and add the product that they may want. And so once I click on that, the a la carte comes up, tip, and the interior detail service. So I go to the interior detail service, add that, and once I add that, I hit the little check mark that was on the top right page. Now let's just say, for instance, that particular customer also had pet hair. So I go to add product, a la carte, and then now I can go ahead and add the pet hair. So I do have it set up on my site so that the pet hair can be short pet hair or it can be long pet hair. We all know how difficult short pet hair can be. So for the sedan, right here, you can see that it's an additional $85 for the sedan on the pet hair removal. So I'm going to hit the plus sign for that. And then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to hit the check mark right there to add that service to that particular detail. Now, the only option that I have for that particular customer is to collect the $200. Now, if they want to do the shop and pay later, then they need to go to my website in order to do that. And what I can also do let me go ahead and click this again. If I go up here and I click the 3 dots, I can go ahead and I can apply a discount, as you can see right there, and I can add notes to that particular detail, or and clear the cart. And I can go ahead, when I click on that, I can click on the tip option that you see right there, and I can go ahead and I can add a percentage on the tips. So what I want to do is I'll go ahead and I'll click on that button right there, and then I can add the 15, 18, or the 20%. Now, this is when I'm dealing with a customer on a quick sale. So that is also called point of sale. Okay, that's when you're in front of somebody and you're making another sale to them, or the first sale. Now, back on this screen, when the customer scrolls down, they can hit the tip option, and I have the tips they're set up to where you could do 5, 10, all the way up to $50. And if the customer wants to do $100, they can click on 50 and then do that twice, and then add that to the cart. Now, this is going to be included in the monthly amount. This is why I try to tell customers to make sure that when you do book a detail, make sure you go to the a la carte, select ozone treatment, or select additional services to your vehicle. That way, and also to go to the tip option and add the tip to it. That way it goes in with your payment plan, instead of you having to pay it all up front. Because if they do not put it in the app, then the app is going to, it's only going to collect the money over time for the detail. And so now you have to pay cash up front. So you got to make sure you put everything in all at once in order for everything to come out the way you want it to come out. Now, for the first 3 months, that you are signed up, you're only paying $1 a month to Shopify. And for the first month or two, any other additional apps that you've added to your website, you're going to pay up front. It's going to be a low amount, and then it'll transfer over after the trial period is up. But still, it's not that overbearing or anything like that. But you're going to have to go out and do the footwork, handing out flyers so you can let people know that they can book a detail online. Payment plans are included. And the great thing about this is that there are a lot of people out here who want their car detailed, but they've went to a shop and they said, well, it's going to be $200 or $300 to have the car detailed. And because of that, the customer's like, I can't afford to get this work done right now. Now, also on my website, and this is the tricky part, is that if, because you have the platinum, right? So the platinum breaks down to, as you can see right here, it breaks down to the different vehicle sizes. So you have the sedan, coupe, and so forth. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes you have people that's going to need additional shampoo and extraction. Their dash is super dirty and you're not going to be able to steam clean it. You're going to also need to use chemical and take more time and everything like that. So in those particular cases, the customer needs to, when they add their detail, they also need to go to the a la carte, and they need to add, as you can see right here, where it says the platinum, you have level 2, level 3, level 4 platinum. You can add the bio waste and so forth onto the detail. You see, that's the tricky part. A lot of people are thinking that they're going to have the deep clean at, say, $145, but at the same time, it has heavy staining to the vehicle, to where the staining is inside of the foam in the seats, and it needs to have a lot of saturation. So they need to add this to their detail. And even on my website, it does tell people, when you scroll down, you have these descriptions here. Okay. And as you scroll all the way down, and this is the hard part because people are not going to read all of this, it does tell people to consider adding the level 2, 3, and I didn't put the level 4 on here. So this is in case, people that haven't had a detail in the car is, say, 4 or 5 years old, 6 or 7 years old. Okay, I'm going to need to shampoo that car probably twice. And there are all kinds of stuff in the cracks and crevices and everything. This is why they need to add the additional deeper clean to the vehicle. If it's a smoker vehicle, adding ozone treatment and so forth. Now, you don't have to use Adobe to print out your flyers or anything like that. You can, use your computer and you can create your own flyer, that, basic flyer, add your images to it or so forth. But I think it's worthwhile. You use the free trial, print out your flyers. One of them would be the template that you use to, create more flyers and everything. And then you're not paying a monthly service. I think that paying for the monthly service, the premium and everything, I think that this is pretty much something that you want to do if you were using this app as a business itself, meaning you're making people's business cards or their flyers and everything like that. That's when having this and paying a monthly fee makes sense. But create your flyer and boom, and you're done. If you want to make your business cards or just go somewhere, I get mine printed up at Office Max. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money. Office Max, Office Depot, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money, but you can get the work done, and you'll have your cards to leave behind in cars when you completed the detail. That way they can hand your cards out. You want to put 2 cards inside of the cup holder, and because if they appreciate the service, they're going to refer you. And so one card is for them and the other card is for maybe their spouse or someone else and everything. So, but in order for you to get those referrals, you're going to have to do a good job. You don't want to overdo cars and spend too much time with those cars. So it's imperative for you to make enough money for your time and services. When I do a basic, which is the maintenance clean, I don't want to be doing that car for more than an hour and a half. 2 hours is my max. For a sedan, it's $85. So I want to try to keep that within about 2 hours, and then that way I'm making $42.50 an hour. And you're looking at supplies. If you're going off site, you're detailing somebody's car at their workplace or wherever. Okay, so that's the cost. You're looking at cost of gas, your chemicals, and everything like that. So you really have to pay close attention to time and try to be as thorough as humanly possible. I have a car that I detailed, wasn't too long ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. The guy selling the car, but he didn't notice that there was some staining still to the car. That's because he just wanted his main concern was to get the seats clean, and it needed a deeper clean. But I told him I'd come back out for free and do the detail on the vehicle. It's not an issue. It's not that far from me. And also he's offering to rent me the shop next door to him, where I can actually get about 3 or 4 cars in there and have those cars being detailed. One area is for like ceramic coatings, maybe a 8-year ceramic coating, which it's going to take about a week or two to cure and everything. So that's going to allow me to have a storefront, a commercial property to do business out of, and that's going to increase the amount of people coming to me to have their cars detailed. Currently, right now, I detail cars from home. I don't do the whole mobile detailing thing. I don't have a setup in my Equinox. And so people just bring their cars to me. They feel comfortable with doing it. I mean, they're coming to my home garage. They're able to see all the equipment is in there. They verify, that I live there. It's really not a harsh process and everything. So I'm just telling people, don't freak out and don't think that, well, you're not going to be able to make any money because you can't do this mobile. Yes, you can do this mobile. Another thing is that ad spend. Down the line, and remember what I'm saying. I'm saying down the line. Don't worry about ad spend right now. But you can go on YouTube and you can sign up to be able to do ad spend on YouTube. You can also do the same thing going on TikTok. You can pay for clicks. So you make your video, pay for clicks and everything. Now with the YouTube, you can set the YouTube up, and you can find videos on the how-to on YouTube. But you can set your videos up on YouTube to only market your videos in a certain area. So they're going to show your ads to people in that vicinity. You can set age limits and so forth, so you can connect with your particular audience. and everything. So I think you can do the same thing with TikTok and also other places as well. So it's all up to you if you want to go these particular routes. I forgot how to do it on TikTok because I haven't paid for any ad spend as of right now. And I think the video that has the most amount of views, it is, what is it? I think I had a 1K somewhere. I think, no, you know what? That's on YouTube. But this video right here is the one that I have currently right now. It's 322 views. That's without spending any ad spend on there. So, and you can post it up to like your Facebook, and that'll draw people to your YouTube channel and so forth and everything. So you want to make sure that you do target marketing in a certain area around you, so you can set that that radius. It'll be like a small radius like this. You can open it up to make it a bigger radius, maybe a 10-mile radius and so forth. But again, that's when, as you're accumulating money and you want to get more leads, and that's what you do. And you also have Yelp Business. You can sign up for Yelp. And here's the thing, you can make you a profile on Yelp and it'll be absolutely free. Doesn't cost you anything, but they're going to reach out to you and to tell you that they can put you ahead. Meaning, like right now, people have to go back a couple pages to actually see, my account on here, so that they can consider using me as a detailer. But that's going to be them filtering through pages after pages after pages. So if you want to get pushed forward on Yelp, you need, so that you pop up on the first page, you're going to have to pay Yelp in order to do that. That's how they make their money. I like doing this because I am detailing cars from home. I need people to, feel like I'm legit and everything. So I'm able to share this with them. And again, on your page, they will show like your competitors as well. So if you want to have that removed from your page, you're going to be looking at going here and adding that to your account. So you have a 14-day trial. You can hit the trial. And so the 14-day trial, it's going to be free, but you got to upgrade eventually, and it's going to cost you $6 a day. This is when you start to scale. So once you click on me, and then I think you go up here to the share button, and now you can share with that customer that made that call to you. You go ahead and share them with their Yelp, because your Yelp is going to be probably page 10 or page 20 or something until you pay Yelp to put you ahead of your competitors. So you can go ahead and you can go to your own Yelp after you get some reviews from some of your previous clients, and then you can go up to the share button when that person calls you, and you can go ahead and share your Yelp, and that'll show the reviews that you've had done. One thing I would suggest doing is giving people discounts. Giving people discounts and telling them, I'll give you a 20% discount if you can agree to leaving me a Yelp review. Now, I'm not trying to pay you to give me a positive review. I want you to give me an honest review. So if I've only earned 4 stars, then give me the 4 stars. Hopefully, I'm able to earn 5 stars from you. So now you're letting them know that they get the discount. Maybe the discount is for now, or you can give them a discount for a future detail. You can let them know that the discount will be good for 1 year. And you're going to do that by going to your Shopify page and clicking the menu button here. And then you're going to be able to generate the discount codes for your customer. Okay, so you hit the create discount code, and then you go ahead, you can send that code out to customers. You can also click the plus sign at the very top right, and there you have. Notice right here, you can have it to where buy X and get Y. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So you can choose the particular, any item from, and you can go ahead and click on that and specific collection and everything. And then you have your quantity of items. Maybe, they get 50% off the second vehicle. Okay, and you get to put the percentage amount in there, or you can do free. So meaning maybe they get one detail and they get a second one for free. I wouldn't recommend doing that. That's just extra work, and you not making money off the second card. So I'd say 10 to 20% is good enough. Now, what you also have is you have marketing. So we click on the marketing, and when you click on marketing, you can go ahead and you can explore apps. And they're going to give you a little description here, and as well as you can go through all of the different other apps. So what they generally do, from my understanding, because I haven't done this yet, is they're going to link all of your social media platforms together, and this will allow you to have some sort of marketing. One of the biggest ones would, of course, be your Google, because Google is linked to your YouTube and so forth. So all in all, you have other marketing tools that's going to help you get your leads when you are trying to be productive in this particular business. Best thing you could do, I would suggest, is find you some friends and family. Tell them that you give them 50% off and everything, and you record yourself. Detailing the videos. Get you a camcorder. Use your phone. You can use your phone. There's nothing wrong with it. You can use software to edit the videos, or you can just record yourself as, like when you turn on your extractor and you start extracting, and then you record for a few seconds. Then you press pause, show the after of the video. And then you can go ahead and show yourself cleaning the dash. And then once you clean the dash, you pause it after, you're just showing that you're starting to wipe it down. And then you pause that video. And you go ahead, and once the dash is finished, then you push play, showing the after effect. Why are you doing this? You're doing this because you don't have editing software to do it for you. Otherwise, you could just videotape yourself the whole hour and a half, 2 hours of you cleaning the video, and then go and edit it. So you do your own editing. So I'm going to show you this video right here. On this video, I actually used Adobe to create this video. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear the music in the background, but you can see the video. Okay, I just had to stop the video. But pretty much Adobe, the AI system, goes through and it will edit it. Now, that video right there, that was pictures. So I just compiled a bunch of pictures together, recorded a few seconds of it. I think it was like 60 seconds or something. And now the video plays according to what a music plays according to the video footage. So me just having those split 2 seconds on a video or 3 seconds on that picture, the picture and everything, it created this particular video. I think in one part of the video, you can see that it was a video playing. Okay. The software edited it. It just took a piece of the video and added it in there. And that's why you're seeing some movement during that particular part of the video. So again, you make your videos, you post them up on YouTube, on TikTok, and so forth. But what you want to do is you want to do the targeted marketing based off of your current area, because it's not going to help you if your video is being seen by somebody 300 miles away. They're not going to drive that far to get your business. So you want to do targeted, marketing and everything. Another thing is you can find some of the local detail shops near you, and you could put flyers at a gas station near that detail shop. Why would you do that? It's because sometimes people go to a detail shop and they're like, oh, it's going to cost you $400 based off the condition of the car. So the person leaves and they're like, man, I'm not about to get my car detailed. I wanted to get it detailed, but screw it. I'm not going to do it. But they go to the nearest gas station, they stop there, and boom, they see one of your flyers. or they see one of your business cards and they're like, man, let me give my man a call or lady a call and everything. So you can let them know your minimum, maximum amount, and except for extreme conditions. I did notice that some flyers, some of the detail shops, when you go in, it might say 100 to 275, and then in parentheses it'll say except extreme conditions. So people are generally thinking, okay, the 100 to 275 is based off of the size of the vehicle, so I'm looking at maybe about 150. Okay, but their vehicle hasn't been detailed in 2 or 3 years, and it has staining and so forth. Now, when they go to the shop, they end up finding out that it's going to be like 200, maybe even $300 or $400 to detail that particular vehicle. Plus, the shop is going to say we can't get to it until tomorrow or the day after. So again, they might make an appointment and then go down the street and see your flyer. They may not make an appointment, go down the street and see your flyers. So it's a really good idea to make sure that you put your flyers near some of those detail shops. Not only that, but a detail shop might finish the car, and the customer may go to the nearby gas station, and they see your flyer. They still take it and they still call you. Why would they call you and they just had their car detailed? Because they were planning on getting their wife car detailed, but they didn't like the price that they paid for that particular detail. It is important for you to also have 3 different packages. This is why on my website you see the basic, you see the gold, and then you also see platinum. So it goes from the coupe and sedan, which I charge the same price, and then it goes to the SUV, and then it goes to the third row vehicles, and you have your basic, your gold, and then you have your platinum. And as you can also see right here, that they can add a level 2 or a level 3. I need to add a level 4. And as you scroll down, you find out when you need to actually add that to your package. You can see it right here where it's pretty much it's right here where it's pretty much stating that examples of extreme conditions, oil spills that have set in over a long period of time, and it has penetrated the foam underneath. No maintenance in over 12 months, mold, mildew, smokers' cars. For the best results, I would select level 2 or level 3, extreme conditions for the best results. In addition to getting rid of odors, ozone treatment is available by adding it from the a la carte menu. I always suggest that if you're going with a basic and or gold plan, consider going to the a la carte and adding foam cleaning for a deeper clean to the driver seat. The driver spends the most amount of time in the car. That's the car that is the worst. So if you're selecting a basic package, and that's going to be a steam clean. So the oils that you may have accumulated from your skin cells may not come out using a steam clean, especially if you're going back and forth to work. You work at a plant or something like that. Your clothes are going to be a lot more dirty. So what I will always suggest to the customer is you go to the a la carte. And if you're doing a basic clean, go ahead, go to the a la carte, look for foam clean. And as you can see, for the foam, minor stains per seat, $35. So add the $35 for that extra clean to the driver seat. I always tell people this because I always look at the fibers of the seat and I always see that they're smashed together because they need a deeper clean, because all of the oils, the dirt, all of it has connected to get together. So it needs to have a foam clean with an extraction. The extraction will allow me to pull out all of the contaminants inside of the seat. And as you can see, you have things like long pet hair, moderate condition. You have also the extreme condition, and then so forth with the short pet hair and everything like that. A lot of people, they don't want, they really don't want to have to deal with the pet hair in the car, especially if they're trying to sell the vehicle. You want to get all of that pet hair out. In some cases, we're not able to get rid of all the pet hair. But if you're going to pay me, where it says the pet hair extreme conditions, you're gonna pay me the extra $200. I'm gonna look for every bit of pet hair inside of that car. In most cases, I will end up trying to remove as much as possible. Then I'll go ahead and clean the whole entire car, and then I'll go back over the car with tweezers, trying to remove as much of the fine pet hair that's left behind as humanly possible. Yes, I will go over the car with tweezers to pick it out of the carpet. I'm getting paid $200 extra to do this. I do not want not one bit of pet hair left in that vehicle at all. Because people trying to sell the car, other people that are looking to buy it, they don't want to see pet hair. And so if you don't remove the majority of it, that's going to be a huge issue and affect that person's ability to sell that particular vehicle. But again, like I said, if you are just now starting out with detailing, I strongly suggest that you get you some flyers made out. Don't worry about big equipment. I know a lot of people that thought about doing detailing when they looked up steamers. Well, not steamers, but extractors. They were like, skip it. I don't want to do this, because they looked at the hot water extractors, which can cost you over anywhere from $800 to over $1,000 for a hot water extractor. When you have cars that are really bad, that are deep down stains, those hot water extractors are perfect for it. The cold water extractor would cause you to do more work and take longer time trying to get that out. But if you have a steamer, you will be able to, I would go over the seats with the steamer and then go over with the hot water extractor. But then you're going to need to go over it with the steamer again and extract. So the best process would be to go in and shampoo, saturate the seats, put your foam on top, agitate more. So let me back it up. You want to go and saturate the seats with the chemical, wet chemical. Then you can go in and agitate with a drill brush, or you can just hit it with the foam, because the foam will keep the dirt on top. The saturation goes into the seat, possibly into the foam, depending on how much you're putting in. Okay, and then you're gonna not the foam, but the loose chemical, just spraying it down. The foam, when you put the foam on top, this is gonna keep everything above. And then after you've went in and agitated with the drill brush, then I would go in with the steam. You're heating it up. I would steam one section and then go ahead and extract, because that steam is going to help that chemical work more. So adding that steam in, allowing it to penetrate, then you go ahead and you extract immediately right afterward. That would be almost the equivalency of a hot water extraction. Not the perfection, but almost, hot water extraction. So that would be the best way that I would say when you're dealing with real deep staining and you need that extra push. You also have Chemical Guy has the extraction spray that you can use. So after the car is dry and you've noticed that there's some staining there, you can go ahead and you can use the Chemical Guy extraction spray and then a microfiber towel to try to get rid of any surface staining to the vehicle. The only time that you're going to have surface staining after you dry the vehicle is because the customer chose, let's just say, the basic package or the gold package, and they needed to choose your platinum package. Because they chose the wrong package, when you go to extract, you're pulling up any previous spills to the surface. So when you go to dry, now it looks worse than before. This is when you talk to your customer and say, hey, did you had some spills on the seat? Oh, yeah. This was about a year ago. Had some spills in the seat. In order for me to really get everything clean, it needs to have a deeper clean, because when I cleaned the seats, that loosened up all of that sticky stuff or whatever you spilled, coffee or whatever. It loosened it up and it extracted some of it from the foam, and now it's just sitting on the fibers of the seat. Now the customer is looking at you like, you trying to upsell me because you did a crappy job. That's why in the beginning, when you're talking to customers, you want to ask them, have they had any spills in the vehicle before? Okay, so if they choose your basic package or they choose your gold package, and the gold package is pretty much, on the basic, you're looking at steam, maybe some extraction spray and agitation. Boom, done, dry the vehicle. On something like the gold tier, you're going to be spraying foam into the seats, and you're going to go ahead and agitate and then extract. On your highest tier, your platinum tier, you're spraying solution to soak in deeper and getting into the foam, and then you're going to go and you're going to extract. Okay, so if detailers just went straight for the gold platinum, and that's the only process that they use, like back in the day, then detailing would cost people more money. But it's easier to dry a vehicle that you only steamed. It takes you half an hour to 45 minutes. If you spray foam onto the surface layer of the seats, the only time that it's going to take longer to dry that is if you allow the foam to collapse and then you extract from it. But even then, it can take less time than when you're spraying the solution loosely in there, meaning the not watered down, but the chemical. You're spraying the chemical into everything. So you want to factor all of these things into the into the time. For most part, the sorry, I was just recording, and I thought I was recording, but I didn't have it turned on, so I need to think about where I was at in this video. So basically, the gold and platinum somewhat similar, except for the platinum, I'm going to spray more solution into your seats so that it penetrates them deeper. And then I'm going to spray foam and agitate. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to extract from that point. So basic is a steam. I'm using steam, maybe some extraction spray at the same time as the steam with the something covering the steam head, the triangle head, to lift the dirt. And then for the gold package, I'm using foam. So now that's chemical. And I may use steam with that one. But generally, I don't use steam. I go in with foam, agitate, and then I extract on that one. And then on the platinum, I spray a solution into the seat so it'll penetrate and get to the foam. Then the foam inside the seat. Then I'm going to foam, and then I'm going to extract. Okay, so that's the process that I use to get a deeper clean to the vehicle. Now on my website, these prices are going to change. I don't like the coupe sedan $85 basic. Maybe if this is a customer who purchased the platinum sedan, which is $145, I still don't really like the platinum at $145. But this involves you really moving quickly to complete this particular service for the customer and everything like that, because you don't want to be stuck on the sedan for 3 hours. However, if I need to take more time, it's because I didn't bother with explaining to the customer that the sedan is in extreme condition, meaning they should have went down to the a la carte and they should have went in and they should have added towards the bottom where it says extreme conditions level 1. So that'll bring my total up to 245. If it's really bad, which is I would say mildew, but if you're dealing with mold, then now you're on the extreme at that point. Heavy staining or so forth, and everything. If you want the car to look practically brand new, I strongly would suggest that you add the level 4 platinum to it, because I'm going to really saturate that car and I'm going to clean it twice, and it's going to take a lot more time to dry the vehicle. And also, as you can see here, BioWaste, the urine and blood, the urine is 180, and then you look at the BioWaste stool being 160. It's just a difference in stools. It's way nastier. It's way nastier. But generally, it's sitting on top of the seat, but you may have had somebody like a kid that was sitting there and they've smashed it into the seat and everything. So enzyme cleaners are not cheap, especially not a good quality one. And just to get that smell out, it's going to take a little bit more time, but it's not as bad as urine. Urine will soak straight through the top layer into the foam of the seat. So you may have to do some excessive cleaning when doing that. I've done some urine before, and yeah, it takes some time to get urine out of a car, especially if that person doesn't drink much water. So, with that being said, hopefully this information has helped somebody. Like I said before, the best thing to do is to get you some flyers and hand those flyers out to people. In the process, if you want, you can make you a Shopify, and this allows people to um, add their cleaning. And then when they add their cleaning, it's also going to allow them to do the pay later option. Okay. It's a soft pull. So they're really just checking, I believe, don't quote me on this, but really they're just checking to make sure that you've been making deposits into your checking account. So someone who has had who has direct deposits into their checking account, and they're not like overdrafting, on a weekly basis or 2 or 3 times a month, that person would more than likely end up getting approved for the pay later option. Now, you as a detailer, it could take up to 2 to 3 days for you to get your payment. Okay, so that's not bad at all, and especially because you're putting more sales into the pipeline. Okay, so if you're looking for 10 jobs to pay you back, and it's been 2 days, then by the time you get paid, then you're looking at 1450. So yeah, you can restock up on chemicals and gas and so forth and everything. But detailing 10 cars in 2 days is definitely will burn you out. So you should be aiming for at least 3 to 4 details per day. But like I said, after a couple of days, you having more details that are going to pay out to you through Shopify, it's not going to hurt you. You're going to make more money being able to offer payment plans. Most people are going to be shocked, like, wait, a payment plan to have your car detailed? I ain't never heard of that. Dude, you can go on DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, Grubhub, and you can split your payments. So if the people are doing that for food, why wouldn't they do that for having their car detailed? Especially if you got family members coming in and you got some spills, or you want to make your car look a little bit better. Why not just go ahead, sign up, get the detail done today, tomorrow, and you're only paying $20 or $40 for upfront and everything. So again, it doesn't make sense what a lot of people try to do. But I appreciate you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.